Good morning, boys and girls. So today we are talking about decimal multiplication. Yesterday we talked about patterns, and today we are going to talk about how we can multiply a decimal by a whole number. So we are going to start out with our problem, 0.62 times 3, or 62 hundredths times 3. Pick whatever multiplication method that you like best. If you like the box method, you can use that. I'm going to use the traditional method because that's the way that I like. And I know from hearing from you guys, that's the way a lot of you guys like. But if you don't like the traditional method, that's okay. Use whatever method works best for you. So how we are going to multiply a decimal by a whole number is actually not as hard as you might think, okay? So I know in adding and subtracting, we lined up the decimals. But guess what? When you multiply, you just put the digits all the way on the right. So if we stack these up, we've got 0.62, and we're just going to multiply by 3. No worries about the decimal. No worries about having to line them up. You just push the digits all the way to the right. Okay? And now we're just going to do the traditional method. We start out with 2 times 3. What is 2 times 3? 6. And then we go 3 times 6, which is 18. Now, how do I figure out where that decimal goes? Guess what, guys? You just count how many digits are behind the decimal, and you count how many digits starting from the right, and you put the decimal there. That may have sounded a little confusing. I don't think I worded it the best, so let's try that again. So we count how many digits are behind the decimal in 0.62. 1, 2. What about 3? None, because if 3 had a decimal, it would be back here, right? So there aren't any digits behind the decimal. So we have 2 digits behind the decimal. So if we start here, we're going to go 1, 2. We have 2 digits behind the decimal. So our answer is just 1 and 86 hundredths. Guys, it's really not as hard as you may think, right? You do regular multiplication, and all you have to do after that is count how many digits are behind the decimal. So let's do one more problem together. 1 and 72 hundredths times 6. I went ahead and lined it up for us because everything just goes to the right. You don't have to worry about lining up any decimals when you're multiplying. And we're just going to do regular multiplication and act like that decimal's not there until we get our answer. So we do 6 times 2 is 12. So we would drop that 2, move that 1 over. 6 times 7 is 42 plus 1, 43. Drop that 3, carry that 4. What is 6 times 1? 6 plus 4, 10. You guys are so awesome. Now, how many digits are behind my decimal? 1, 2. And there aren't any behind the decimal in 6, right? So I have 2 digits behind the decimal. So I'm going to start at the end and go 1, 2. Put my decimal right there. So my answer is 10 and 32 hundredths. Make that decimal a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. You guys did awesome today, and I hope that you understand this lesson and realize that, guys, multiplying decimals doesn't have to be that hard as long as you know your multiplication facts and you just set it up with all the digits lined all the way to the right. You count how many spaces are behind the decimal, and then you move your decimal that many spaces, right? I had 2 digits behind, and I have 2 digits behind. You just want your digits behind the decimal to match up. Guys, you'll have a short assignment right below this video. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day.